Okay, I'm doing the video this way. It's actually after 1 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Today is Sunday, February 2nd, 2025. And I'm up as usual. I'm usually up all night. And I got it all mixed up. But I plan on going today, Sunday, to go back to work. I've mentioned before that because of my edema, swelling in the feet and all that, I've had it almost around 2 years, I guess. I can't work a regular job. I have to be able to go home whenever I need to, elevate my legs. Can you imagine trying to do that at a regular job? No. I thought through this, believe me. But in order to get health insurance, I had to do this. Believe me, I thought about it, like I said, thoroughly. And this is basically the only thing because I work as an independent contractor. Go out, do the work, maybe an hour, 2 hours. Also depends on how busy it is. I think the longest I lasted was 6 hours. And that might be a little too much that I lasted. But usually it's less than 4 or less. But then usually the next day my body hurts. But anyway, I'm going to try to go back tomorrow, today and work some later, at around noon. We're supposed to here in North Texas, when it's north of Dallas in Texas, Collin County. And it's a very wealthy county, and but today we're supposed to have record-breaking heat. It's going to be 77 or something like that. And we were just record low, last week, and then the week we were kind of in the 50s, and then before that, we had all that snow and ice and all that. Yeah, real fun. Then next Sunday, we dipped down into the 40s. Yeah, that's so fun. But this week, I plan on working as much as I can. But because of all the health issues, I did see my doctor the other day, and he walked in, he basically said, "Wow, you look so much better." And at the end of it, he said, "I really was worried about you." So I really was worried, quite worried. Because I was not healthy. I was not, oh man, that was actually the 4th time I've seen him. And the first time was actually at an urgent care, early last year, I think, or in the summer, I don't know. But I can't remember. I think it was early though. So anyway, all these little details. But this is what I have to do to get health insurance. I wanted just to pay for it. They said you can't do it that way. So, okay, but I got really good insurance. I really do have good insurance so far. But anyway, health insurance. Now, auto insurance is, whoa, you wouldn't believe. Because I do these deliveries, it's way high. And I'm paying like 4 times, I think, more than I did before. Yeah. Anyway, so I plan on going back out. So it's in the evening, which would technically be Saturday, but around 7 o'clock, I started up all 3 apps that I use for delivering. And I really haven't done much since, I think, 1 order since 1 or 2, maybe, since like before Halloween. And when that happened, I was trying to go to a house, walk up. The houses around here, they're usually brick houses, nice houses. This is, like I said, a wealthy county. And in the front it's not usually steps, like you would think, that you walk up just regular steps. Some of them do, but most of them have these winding little things that the steps aren't normal at all because it winds around and you have to really be careful. And they go up a hill. Seriously. The walk is uphill. And I tried one of them and I remember saying, I can't do this. For some reason. I've had these weird health conditions and all this stuff out of the blue. Once I turned 59, all of a sudden I had crazy stuff, weird stuff happening to me physically. And I'm 61 now. It's like, what the, you know? But apparently I'm getting out of it and working through it. And like you said, you've really worked through this. You've really, you know, you're on that end of it, the good end. Back to getting back to health. Well, and I told him, he said, but you need to get some sun. And he's white like me, and it's about the same age. And I sometimes think I know him from somewhere, you know. Maybe we went to school together, who knows. But he said, just get some sun. I said, I plan on it this weekend. You know, Sunday, in fact. And he said, good, you know. So anyway, and we talked about vitamin D. I said, I'm already on 2. He said, we'll still run the test, so. Anyway, to B12 or something. But anyway, so I plan on going out. So let me get finished here. Saturday, 7 o'clock. I decided to turn all 3 apps on and just to see what I was going to get. What kind of offers from home here. And I was going to screenshot them. I want to see, you know, if it's Saturday night, Saturday evening, Saturday dinner time. Yeah, that's usually 7, around 7 o'clock, any day of the week, around 7 o'clock to around 10 or so. And I just want to see, I wasn't going to do them. But I only got one, and on an app that the delivery app, I usually don't use. And, I mean, it's very seldom I've ever used it. And I feel like it's an app where people who got kicked off of the bigger ones, the bigger 2, that's where they go. Because every single order, I don't know how many I've had, but every single one of them had problems. One of them, the woman actually called me and kept giving me the wrong directions to her house. And she started saying things like, well, my food's going to be late, and it's going to be cold. And I knew she was trying to get free food. So I called them after I just stopped listening to her and found her house. The app was going crazy. The app, because there was some kind of like a cul-de-sac, but not exactly. And when it switched from one road to the other in the cul-de-sac, that's where it messed up, and it wouldn't show me her house, but I found it and delivered it. And she started laughing from the door because she was probably around my age. She knew what she was doing. And so I called him and I told him, I said, I think she was wanting free food. And the whole thing to get her food was a mess because she was very particular. And they were short-staffed, and they were having fights between one of the waitress, she was new, and the cook, and they were just fighting and all this stuff. And the customer was real particular. She wanted a cup of vegetables, and they had to put it in a styrofoam cup with a lid on it and a plastic so it wouldn't dump over, and she wanted this and that. And they were having so much trouble, you know, just feeding the people who were there. It was real busy. And then I went through all of that, had to wait forever. And then when I left from there, I almost got hit by somebody who was driving about 90 down the road. Yeah, all of a sudden, boom, they're there. You know. And it was like, I don't want to ever do this, use this app again. But every one of them, all of them, had problems. Like I said, I really think it was somebody got kicked off, people who got kicked off of the other ones. So, okay. Now, I said 3 that I use. I have more, but I don't use them. So I turn them, you know, all 3 of them. More than once I tried this. But that one, the one I just mentioned, is the only one I got any offers from. Now get this. You know, people know that it's like at least $1 per mile is what we should make. We should earn at least, but people, well, I've heard like on YouTube and such, they said $2 per mile. Because you do have to come back from wherever it is. Well, this one, so you would say, like they offer $6 for 3 miles. You see, that would be normal. Or $6 for 6 miles, but you still have to come back, so it's 12 miles. Anyway, this one, however, I did screenshot it, but for some reason, like I've said before, I stopped doing that because for whatever reason, they're interactive. I guess you'd call it. Because I remember being on my my desktop computer, and somebody had made a video, and I clicked on it, trying to pause or something, and instead it was interactive with the person who put up one of the offers they had. And it didn't do anything, but it was like, whoa, and mine does that. I had forgotten that it does that on some of them. And I tried everything, edit it, and all this, yeah. But, get this. It was an estimated how much they would pay. They would pay at least this much. $6.30. $6.30 for, let me see, what was it? 16.6 miles? Yeah. It said estimated time would 41 minutes. That's 2 there. That's to pick up, then to go to the person's house. I still have to come back. And if it's out there, I don't know, I didn't even look. But if it's out there somewhere where there's no restaurants out there, no place, because I only do restaurants. What am I going to do? Come back those 16.6 miles with nothing. So it's going to be around an hour for $6.30. No. And the other one's one of them is the big one. I don't use the other one. Nope, I read their, I read their, what is it, the contract. I went deep into it. Oh man, it was messy anyway. It's a disaster out here. But when I read it, went deep into it and read some of the stuff what they like, things like in one part, it's all together in one part. It says things like they have the right to know your signature, and then like 2 or 3, however many down or before that, it says they have the right to all your bank accounts. Let's see, they have your signature and your bank accounts, access to your signature and your bank accounts. Nope. Stuff like that. And they have access to your health files. No. You see what I'm saying? No. And of course they could say, oh, that's because we make deposits to your bank. Why do you need my signature again? Oh, well, you see what I'm saying? But I don't think a whole lot of people have gone that far and to read the hyperlink inside, go deeper, however deep it is, what you're saying, and read it, because that's not all. That is not all. They own your life, practically. They could. And where are you calling whenever you call for help? The customer service? It's not in the United States. Think. Really, think. Okay, and I did this more than once. So I think the last time was around 9 something, close to 10. Nothing. Only that one, okay, from that first one. And nothing from the big one. Nothing at all. Saturday, real hot night whenever people, want things delivered. Nope. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to work Sunday. And I might go out there and go to work and say, nope, health is not allowing me to do this. And it could actually happen. Like I mentioned, I have a rare health condition. And it's caused me, that's what the doctors are now saying. is the cause of what's going on with me, is my rare health condition. Well, it hasn't reared its ugly head since I was 10 years old. Okay, and there may have been one other time, but I think that was more of what I was drinking, with sodas with sugar in it. I quit drinking those sodas. I lost a lot of weight in a really short period of time. So, yeah, I'm not going to say how much, but it was fast. And that could be because of my rare health condition. That's why I'm saying this. What happens to me, not necessarily what happened to somebody else. And I was under doctor's supervision because that's not healthy. What happened? He said it was better that it did because of the health and overall, but that might not be for everybody. So I'm not in any way, shape, form, or fashion a voice of authority on anything health. Okay, so get that out of the way. But anyway, so I could go out there tomorrow. Adam's going to go with me. I really don't want to do any more by myself because I've been thinking a lot about it. I started doing this in July of 2023. So, and I've been thinking about it. I've done over maybe 600, somewhere around there now. And that's quite a bit because you also have 600 restaurants. Times you have to go to some restaurants, not 600 restaurants, but yeah. So I've made a lot of trips, different places, all of Collin County, pretty much. A big chunk of it. And, like I said, I'm not bragging, it's just fact. It's a very wealthy county, and that does not mean much. The weird stuff I've had happen, scary stuff too. A lot of it was scary stuff, especially the worst ones, the most, it wouldn't be what some would think, like a lot of people would think it's wrong, that it would be in the poor neighborhoods or something like that. This was it was more of the outskirts of the suburbs of Dallas. The outskirts. Yeah, where it's not as developed, that area. A lot more people I don't want to say off the grid people because I'm not going to pick on those, but it is a lot more country out there. And I don't know why, but that would be the scariest ones. Some of them and even in the daytime, some of it was roads, like I was on a road that Adam and I, we were really scared. Unbelievable, because the roads were unbelievable. He actually jumped out of the SUV at one time because he thought I was going to go off the road. He jumped out to, for fear, but also to make sure I didn't. And it was nighttime, and we wound up having that order to ourselves because I called him and said, that's dangerous. Don't send anybody out there. It was dangerous. I grew up in a place that had outskirts of town like that. And yeah, you don't want to send somebody out there that doesn't know. But one of them was out there where the roads don't have any shoulder median, no lines on the road. It's just asphalt and no lights to show the roads, and the big old huge drop-offs, like two of my SUVs could fall into the it's not a ditch, but the side off the road and stack on top of one another kind of thing. And scary, they're windy. Oh man, it's scary. And but one of them, one time it was out there in the area, and a diesel was coming down the road. Think about it. The roads are narrow, no lines, no median, no shoulders. It's big drop-offs, and here comes a diesel. I think that was the night that we were just so scared. It was awful. Plus, you get a lot of people in bubba trucks, guys in bubba trucks that think they own the road and they're going to run you off of it if you're not going 90 and a 30 in a school zone. Seriously, scary stuff. But yes, I've gotten much better at knowing where that kind of thing would be. Much better. But it can also be, you're going through a really nice neighborhood and all of a sudden, boom, it stops. It happened to me more than once. It just stops. And it goes down to gravel roads like that. All of a sudden, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. And I've had a lot of experience. Like one time it was a ranch. And I'm thinking that it was where ranch hands lived for all the ranches out in that area. And the house, Adam was sitting in the SUV, because I go and do my own deliveries. He has done some of them, like fourth floor or something. But then they got on to me for that. But, it was actually a girl that, he was in our neighborhood and he was with me. He was just holding the sodas. She apparently didn't like him. She was higher than a kite, if you ask me. She was probably around 20, 21 years old. Higher than a kite. And she reported it. All he was doing was holding the sodas for me. But, anyway, and that scary one, he was sitting in the ranch hand one. And it was big. It was like it had a walk on. They had put in their own drive. It was asphalt. And there was this wire across it. Anytime I've ever seen that in my life, I'm going back to my childhood. Scary. It's going to be scary. And that house was so scary. It actually looked like so I could see into it because I had no idea where I was going to leave the food. It was so weird and big, but it looked like it was like you could say like a doctor's office or a nurse's station, and then the rooms back like that. What the crap, Seriously. I was like, what the crap? And I just walked on up there. I had to walk down this, not real long, but asphalt to the house. And like I said, no idea where the door was, where I would leave it, anything. And that was French doors on the back. I don't know if it was the back of the house or the front of the house. No idea. The road said that's where I'm supposed to be, the GPS. And I looked at that, I saw that. I got really afraid. So I still walked back instead of running. And told Adam about it. He said, I was seeing weird stuff too. Man, and one time I said, after that, I said, I want to go back by there, just drive by, see if anything has changed, because they had some, like they were taking the roof off or something, and couldn't really tell. And so I just want to see. He said, no, don't start that, you get in the darkness, You're going to be attracted to the darkness. I don't think that way. He might, so. Anyway, I've had so many experiences. And I really thought about it. I said, I really don't want to go by myself anymore. So whenever he's retired, he just retired. About 4 months ago or so. 5 months, somewhere like that. And he needs to get out. Just get out. That's my view, and he says the same thing, so I want him to go with me. I had too many that were weird. Too many that were scary. Some were funny. Some funny things happened. Like, the funniest one was the woman who I was new. I didn't know she could send me text messages to say things like, please don't, because it said, leave at door, ring doorbell. But she sent me a text, and I didn't know that she could do that. And I rang the doorbell, and then I saw it, and I went, oh, crap. So I went ahead and left. And as I was getting in my SUV, I got in my SUV, I looked over at the door, and she came out to get it, and she was dressed in a bunny suit. And I just started laughing. She couldn't hear me, but it was a bunny suit. That's what she did. Okie dokie. It's the little funny things are like the man who came to his daughter, teenager. She came to the door, got her food, and then I was back. I was turning around, walking out, and the dad opened the door. Real country guy, real beautiful house. The nice, expensive house, but he was definitely country. And he opened the door and he said, "Ma'am, why are you here?" I looked like everybody's grandma type, one of those types. And I told him, and he said, "So my daughter actually just ordered some food for herself." He was totally shocked. And I kept a straight face, and I said, "I guess she did, or something like that." He said, "Okay, okay, thank you, ma'am." But he was just so shocked. I mean, the look on his face was like, my teenage daughter just ordered food for herself? And he would stress the "for herself" part, too. Gotta watch your kids. Anyway, some were funny, some were scary, some were, many of them were just like, "Oh, do it, that's it." But I kind of like this, my master's degree is in sociology, so I kind of like seeing all this kind of stuff. And it also makes me feel better to be out in the fresh air. It's a nice area, fresh air, just doing different things, being active. I'm always active. I'm at home, I'm like, do I ever get to sit down? But just being outdoors. It's good for my heart, soul, my mind, all of it. But then by the next day I'm aching, because of this health condition, which basically the stuff that aches is my legs because of with that rare health condition, muscle atrophy in the I always want to say drumsticks, in the hamstring muscles, So I'm going to see a physical therapist. They had changed the appointment again, but well, not again, but yeah. So I see them next week. This week, I have to check. I'll give an update on because I want them to teach me how would I work, what should I do, shouldn't do, what would help me, this kind of thing. And that's what they're supposed to be doing. So, and plus some kind of weird backache. Weird stuff, seriously. Anyway, this is pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. And I had to take another Benadryl tonight. I've been having to take Benadryl at night. It's like whatever it is at night. And it'll probably knock me out. So I'll talk to you on another video, bye.